Bitcoin price action has been chopping around right around this $95,000 to $98,000 area ever since last week. Here's a couple of key regions that I'm looking to determine whether we're going to see any more continued upside on Bitcoin or potentially a little bit of a pullback towards around 87,700, things of that nature in the near term. So locally, we have Bitcoin's price here. Obviously, we've topped at $99,776, depending on what exchange you're looking at. Very few exchanges had it actually hitting 100K. Most of them came just a little bit short. Since then, we've had a decent little pullback here, which we had almost about a $9,000 drawdown, which was about 9%. A run back up to the upside here, which potentially has put in a little local lower high, which could be a little warning shot that kind of indicates we get a little bit more of a pullback here. But for me, I'm looking for a couple of things, right? So currently, we got the current data that is present. We've got our weekly open, which is sitting at about 97,348. So that's a key region for this week for us to look to see any more upside, right? If we're going to get a flip back and kind of make that run up to the all-time high and actually breach into that 100K, the major line in the sand, short term at least, is going to be the weekly open at 97,350. This is also the area that I'm looking to see if we actually get a little rejection at this point, seeing as how we've started to potentially put in a little local downtrend here, right? As you can see, we've got some high lows, lower lows, potentially coming up to put in another little local lower high in that area. We've already got another local lower low right here. And speaking on this right here, this was a really nice bounce that just occurred. If you take a local gold pocket from the low that we had last week at 90,000, just under 91K, up to the $98,800 high, and you have a gold pocket lined up right there, you can see we came really nicely right down into that region and just got a bounce, a pretty substantial bounce, right? So for me, I'm looking to see how we react in these areas. Currently, we're still just, potentially putting in lower highs at this area. So once again, looking to flip 97,350 for any more upside. Otherwise, looking to actually roll over a bit here on Bitcoin and down to some key levels down below us, okay? So I'll be looking to see, once again, flip this for more upside, but otherwise, maybe we're just bouncing and rolling down here. We've got a key region down here at 91,950. Not necessarily the strongest level in my opinion. There is a volume level there as well from November. And then we've got 89,900, which is interesting because it's just below that $90,000 just psychological level. Does kind of give us a little region there as well. For me, I've got my eyes more so on the monthly pivot, right? So this is the average of price from last month. This is a monthly target for the month of December. And that does come down. This is untapped at the moment, and this is a sitting at about 87,700. It also comes into a little bit of confluence with these local lows, right? Coming all the way back down to this region here if you're looking at Bitcoin kind of spread out. So in this area, right, could be more of an area down here where that many probably have their stop losses, set pretty nicely right here if they've been moving them up, and especially anybody with the late longs that have come in, obviously their last stop loss is right there as well. So for me, looking for a potential rollover just to get a little pullback to these regions here. Not sure, obviously at the moment, if that's going to be the strongest area where we're going to see this, rocket back up. But for me, that would be the next area I'd be looking to, right? So this is where I'd, be the ideal entry for the next long, a next entry. Maybe not buying Bitcoin at $87,000, but if you're looking on the side of altcoins, right? If you're looking for a pullback in that regard, that's something I'd be looking to. This would be about a, another 10% pullback if we get it. And we all know that if Bitcoin pulls back 8 to 10%, generally we get the, the altcoins to see, somewhat double that. And especially with the way that they've been moving, they may, have some really decent little pullbacks. So